plus, and today is a plus. Lots of plus. And he's so nice to everybody too. It's got a
I'm excited to see what's coming. Thank you so much for having me. Right.
Yeah, absolutely. That's awesome.
I'll see you later. You had your nice little fan moment though. That was pretty cool. That was pretty cool. I snapped a few like Okay. Awesome. Yeah, that whole video that they've got playing, I've been doing the whole thing. There's a lot in there.
I think that's. No, I think it's yours. I told her
Can you send me that picture?
It looks big. Oh, but okay, so the two people at the like news panel. I almost sent you a screenshot and I was like, I was like, listen, you know, someone's got to be listening, right? It might as well be. It's just like, it could have been us. I think it's that building in the way. That's great. So that was cool. I'm curious about that. Yeah, let's make that happen. Let's just put that out there in the universe. Anyway, I'll see you later.
Oh, that would be super cool. Like,
I know, I never saw it. There's a rocket raccoon.
So now you're gonna take that hat and put it like in a case. Now you can't wear the hat anymore. Now you're gonna save the hat.
I know.
Yeah, there you go. Is that what it is?
And I had to make sure I had to sign up for it. Because, you know, as a reviewer, as a blogging,
Now wait a minute. I think you're not some people that are not like you.
No. It's not
Wow, this is Brazil.
I was so chanting as I walked through.
If not, you're going to be ready for a second.
If this time
Good, yes, do that.
So do you think, is that what you think originally pavilion makes sense? Or I don't. I heard people argue with people, right? why do you want to go to mobility? But as Americans who are now, we have a culture that we have living here, moving here, restaurants here.
It's not only that. There's something from the city.
That have to be here because when you stay down,
That's it. I think they're all
I think Greece makes perfect
You might mess one up.
I think
You'll be loud. You will be loud. You'll be loud.
Like when we first had to say hi,
I heard that one is an attraction and the other one is
building, brand new buildings. I think imagination is I think that we obviously see a lot of that concept art. Very much touching
would be completely different in 5 years. Those guys that live by the beach,
never wanted to be
that's our son.
This is right here.
She loves Marvel. You know, so
Back to the I don't know, Brian.
you want to be friends with the next president. It's Mark.
I did. That's a year made.
So I'm going to see it back. And this guy, I don't remember, 2007. He had a baseball hat on. He was a huge fan. I listened to it at work. Okay. So it was Expo. He says, well, I was in the company fan. But my company was got wrong like this. I said, what company is it? He said, Marvel. So when I'm going, so I'm thinking, oh, janitor, he's like an accountant. I said, what do you do? He looks at me, he goes, oh, you know what? I said, yeah. He's like, I'm in a video. So I'm like, oh my God. And I'm like, what are you guys going to do? Like, if people say, I'd love to have you on the show. Still working out details. People are doing it right now. So it's hard. Yeah, so we walk away and like, what does he look like? I had a picture. You know, I just didn't have any context, but I love it and everything. Yeah. Look, he's more down to earth. He's a real. Like he loves those walking around. Yeah. He left it here and goes. He's the nice guy. He's gonna go. Because the dreams have all those. That's not it. I don't know why I need him, but I just want to need him. Wow. And the kids at heart. Snow White. I don't even know what it looks like.
That was like 10 minutes ago.
Problem is, I don't know if it's going to happen there. I think that should be something has to do. They gotta see the dog, right? Plus, they have all these problems. They have no idea. Building an apartment.
With the Costco too,
Oh, he's right there.
Oh, there he is.
How you doing, man? Good to meet you in person. You too. My wife. This is Lou Mongello. How are you? Nice to see you. Hello, Irma. Thank you.
is that Becky?
It is.
First thing I have to do. This is Becky. Becky was the one that when I was doing the Facebook Live with Lou, I was sending love out to her.
I absolutely love her. It was so amazing. Now she knows who she is. Yeah, that was so perfect. So perfect. As you can see, we know each other very well.
Absolutely. These two lost the voice. Man, it is hot.
Yeah, how's it been for you?
Can I sit?
Yeah, you can sit or just step down if you like, not a problem.
It's been literally great. I just know that tomorrow I
You were just in Maine.
Literally, I was pulling pipes for that and something like
Have a model of what the ship was supposed to look like for the hotel.
way down there.
All the way at the end.
Sunday morning back.
Well, you know, the things you do for yourself, right? You know?
Well, I'm doing it really free.
I get it. Yeah, I've got it. I don't know him as well as I know. Yeah. We've been working together for 13 years now.
So yeah.
No, he is all WDW.
Right.
I'm sidekick on a show. So
Yeah, so they want something like crazy Star Wars.
that's why
But you live in
I do. I like
so I spend a lot of time in Orlando. I'm back in my favorite life myself constantly there.
So she is a traveler, but she does mostly what
We do everything. So cruising, Disney, vacation.
actually we should probably talk to Becky. We're talking about one show.
I don't like time to
Not have the access of that. Figure out where those back and I would we'll put that into plus. That was true. Yeah. This is Dan Taylor.
Hey, nice to meet you.
He does a huge podcast all about Star Wars and talking with Kenobi. Like if you want to know anything about the Star Wars universe,
I mean, your friends are Kevin Feige, so we can
not touching the hat.
so last case.
See if Justine has a bag
Somewhere. I'm sure we can make that work.
Yeah, no,
Absolutely. Now we know how to get a hold of each other. We're starting the planning.
Yeah, we're gonna do a couple of quick little things. Yeah, I know the names. I know the faces. It's good in the best possible way. Yeah, so I'm just gonna do it. Yeah, they were great.
Well, that's a big thing. can't stand you up. Dude, really?
Josh, this is Nancy.
Hi, Nancy. It's a
Josh,
pleasure
she's
to
lost
meet you.
her place.
She's a stander up over here.
Josh caught all of the
No, I got back and I went to revision now, and then from doing meetings.
So
sorry.
So
Yes, we do. Yep. Yep. That's smart.
Yeah, come back like 4 or 5. That's 4 or 5.
So the thing about it is, you want to do this.
He'll do a, he does it in most ones. He does most ones. Great.
So we'll have something.
Great. Yeah. Awesome. Yeah, that'd be great. That's awesome. I love that idea. Yeah, so I'm not okay. So yeah, October is open right now. I have 2 gigs and something gigs open. Okay. Yeah, that's good. Right here. So 3 days a week. I'll try not to do that. I have 3 days with him, and then but yeah, October's wide open for the 16th and 17th is not, and then other single minute. That's it. Yeah, I'm so sorry. I didn't email you back. I'm so great. It's crazy. It's insane. You have the new book release now for the new show, which is great.
Yes.
You're able to do some marketing because you're doing crowdfunding, right? So when you do that, it's kind of easy. It does. Okay, do it under your belt. I was trying to sneak in to get an autograph before I did.
Oh, hey.
Why did you step up? I'm sorry. Oh,
Yeah. I'm sorry. You want me out of this?
no,
There?
stay where you are, man.
I was let me sign it right here for Lou. Do you have a Sharpie?
I do have a Sharpie. Thanks, man. I got it over at Disney Publishing.
Okay, great. And you know there's Prince back.
Awesome.
What's your first name? Dylan? K-E?
Thank you, John.
Let me see if hey Lou.
Popped in. I looked.
Lou, do you have a Sharpie by any
Yes.
chance?
Here.
Thanks, man.
No problem.
Test, test. Good.
1, 2, 1, 2.
Well, welcome to the WDW Radio Mouse Fan Travel Booth, or welcome back if you have been watching today or yesterday or all weekend or all night long, like some of the poor folks who've been lined up outside literally for hours upon hours to meet my special guest, Mr. Dave Bossert. Good to see you.
Lou, it is fantastic to meet you in person. Now, I got to tell everybody, Lou and I have talked on the phone, we've communicated via email, we even did a Facebook Live.
That's all that's right.
Yeah, which was a tremendous amount of fun, but we never met each other in person. Now we're two guys from the tri-state area is what I've been saying, because Lou's from New Jersey and I'm from Long Island.
Yeah, I think we have the food from the Northeast in common.
Right.
Yeah.
There you go.
As well.
Yeah, I was going to say, I just came in from the Northeast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you bring bagels?
No, but I was in Maine all this past week, and I literally just arrived a few hours ago from Boston.
Yeah, because this was a bit of a surprise trip for you to be here, correct?
It is, absolutely. It was a total surprise trip, not only to everyone here, but to me. It was really a surprise to me.
Surprise, Dave, you're coming out to D23 Expo, whether you like it or not. No. But, so you're here, obviously, not just because I know you are a fan of the brands and everything that goes on here, but you've also got something special that you are sharing on the floor as well.
Absolutely. Well, first off, I got two things. I've got my special edition Oswald the Lucky Rabbit Search for the Lost Disney Cartoons book. That's releasing on Tuesday the 27th, but Disney Publishing has advanced copies here for the first time. People can get them here. So I'll be doing some book signings this afternoon from 5 to 7, and then also tomorrow from 11 to 1 and from 3 to 5. So that's that. But the other thing that we talked about on that Facebook Live is the Claude Coats book. We're going to be doing a Claude Coats book, and we're doing that independently, so we're crowdfunding it, and we're really trying to get a lot of fans, rallying behind it in order to make it happen.
Yeah, and that's the one that as we were talking about, I know a lot of people who are watching got really, really excited about, because he is, and I mean it in the most respectful way, he's very much an overlooked early Imagineer, because there's not a lot out there about him in terms of things on print or video. So I love the fact that you're taking this true passion project and bringing it to life with the help of the people who are fans.
No, absolutely, and it really is a passion project, because the bottom line is that Claude Coats was like the gentle giant. He's like 6'7".
Like me. Now that you meet me in person, I have the same sort of physique as Claude Coats.
But Claude really was this quiet driving force that touched so many of the iconic rides and attractions at the park, and really helped Walt Disney build the park.
Yeah.
That first 15 years, I mean, he's instrumental, and he's the guy in charge of Pirates of the Caribbean. I mean, there's video footage of Walt actually saying, "This is Claude Coats. He's in charge of the pirate ride." Okay, the boss said so.
Which might have been news to Claude at that moment. So.
But, he did Alice in Wonderland, Toad's Wild Ride, he did Peter Pan, the Haunted Mansion, which just celebrated its 50th anniversary this year.
So the timing of the book is so appropriate, right?
Absolutely, So we really want to tell this story, and I'm not doing this in a vacuum, Lou. I'm working with Claude's son, Alan Coats, who's an Imagineer himself, and I have the Claude Coats family behind this project, because this is a story that really does need to be told.
And so for people who might not be familiar with Claude and some of his work, where did he sort of get his start on as many of the early Imagineers did, on sort of the art and the art and animation side, and then what, when you look at Haunted Mansion, for example, we'll use that as an example, where would you see the handprints, as it were, of Claude?
Well, I'll tell you, on the Haunted Mansion, really, Claude is responsible for the first half of that ride. He worked on the Haunted Mansion with Mark Davis. Mark Davis wanted it to be less serious, a little bit more
Museum of the Weird.
Yeah, a little bit more fun. And Claude really wanted that to be spooky, have a spooky ride. So, the first half of that ride is somewhat on the spooky side, creepy and spooky, and that's really where you see Claude shining through. But, if you look at where he started, his first big film where he really got popped up on the radar for Walt Disney was The Old Mill, 1937. As Claude said, The Old Mill was a background short. I mean, it was really about the background and effects, okay? And from there, Walt asked him to work on Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs and the Wishing Well sequence at the beginning of the film. So Claude has architectural training. He's a fantastic painter. He started out as an assistant art director at MGM in the 1930s and left to go to Disney for less money because he wanted to work at Disney. And he spent 54 years of his career there, and the first 20 years from Snow White, the Seven Dwarfs through Lady and the Tramp, he was in the animation department. And he was one of those people who crossed over from animation into helping to build Disneyland. And really what his talent was, he was able to create an immersive experience for the viewer on an attraction, for the guest going through an attraction. His whole goal was to create this immersive environment so that the guests felt like they were part of the story, that they were in the story.
Which I would think that he's looking down, probably very happy and very proud of where the Disney company is now, with that level of immersion that really he started in terms of attractions and storytelling in the parks.
Absolutely, and those early Imagineers, to me, are the guys that were inventing theme park. They were inventing the theme park attractions, and the guys that are doing it today are building on their sweat and their ingenuity in creating those early attractions.
And so do you think the inside of in Disney and Imagineering, do you think the legacy of these founders of this technology and this way of thinking about art and design and storytelling, what I'm trying to say is you're making sure that we as fans continue to appreciate the name and the legacy of Claude Coats. That's something that continues to happen inside of Disney as well too. That's a name that's...
Oh, absolutely. I think within the Walt Disney Company, I mean, there are tremendous, legions of employees, people that have been there for years, who know Claude Coats, who worked with Claude Coats, who understand what his contribution to the company was and to the theme parks. And not only was it, inventing these attractions and creating these attractions here at Disneyland, but then translating them down to Walt Disney World in Orlando and to Paris Disneyland. And also he touched Tokyo, did a lot of work on Tokyo as well towards the end of his career. But I mean, he spent 54 years at the Walt Disney Company, 20 in animation, and 34 at Imagineering, and he was one of the original Imagineers before they even invented the word.
So one of the things I love about your project is obviously one that it comes from a place of passion, but the way that you're doing it too, in terms of really crowdfunding and kickstarting this passion project with the people who are the most passionate about it. Explain the process of how you're putting the project and the book itself together.
Okay. So, and that's a great question, Lou, because from my standpoint, I've gone down the traditional publishing path where I go and pitch ideas. I'd like to do a book on this. And, sometimes you have a nice little streak and you get yes, so we want to do these books. And then all of a sudden you get a project like Claude Coats, and you've got some people who aren't quite as familiar with his contribution to the company. They're salespeople and they're trying to figure out, well, how am I going to sell that book? And they sit there and say, well, he doesn't really have the name recognition. And so the project gets turned down.
There's no name recognition because there's no books about it.
Yeah, so it is sort of a catch-22, but you know what? I diligently went about you know, pitching it through the publishing channels. And I respect decisions. You know, they have a bottom line they have to meet. But I'm also somebody who's passionate about projects, and I just decided, hey, let's go ahead and see if we can get the fans rallied behind this. You know, because, you know, I want to know, do the fans care? Do the fans, you know who Claude Coats is, and are they willing to pre-order this book? And if they are, then we're going to do the book, you know? And if they're not, then we don't. And that story gets lost to time, which I don't think is going to happen.
Well, and I think, I think it almost tastes better. And what I mean by that is when you have to sort of, when you do it this way, and it comes from a passionate place, and it's literally backed by the fans, it's better than, yeah, we'll give this book a shot, and we'll see how it does, and if it doesn't, maybe we won't put as much attention to it. You and the people who are supporting it are going to be your most loyal and fervent evangelists to help get this word out about this book.
That's right, and that's exactly what's happening. You know, we launched the Indiegogo campaign 28 days ago. It's a 60-day campaign, and we're about at 60% funded on the project so far. So we're going to get there. I'm confident that the more people that know about it, the more fans that are aware of this, the more are going to go onto the Indiegogo site, and they're going to say, hey, I'm willing to pre-order this book for $40, or take one of the other perks and get some extra things. And I'm really I'm confident it's going to happen. I believe it because I know that the fans care. I know the fans want to see, you know, some of the lesser known or lesser well-known artists, you know, get their day, you know, get their due. And by the way, I have to tell you, I did this with the Ken Weber project. I only went out and crowdfunded half the cost because I really wanted to see if people cared about it, and they came through. Flying Colors, I put up the other half, and I wrote the book, I published it, and the book has gone on to win 6 medals in book awards. So, you know what? It's a niche topic. Right. It's not going to sell 100,000 copies, but guess what? We documented the animation furniture at Walt Disney Animation Studios.
Well, and certainly this is the right place to be at the right time because these are your people. I mean, these are clearly the most fervent and loyal Disney fans that understand and appreciate. You know, there's been multiple panels about the Haunted Mansion, for example, and the archives and the history. So, yes, maybe the everyday average guest that visits Walt Disney World or Disneyland once every 3 to 5 years may not know or maybe even care that much about Claude Coats, but these people, us, the true hardcore fans, the name and the legacy and the stories mean something.
And I completely agree with you, and I think that there are still tons of untold stories to be told about the Disney timeline and the Disney universe, the Disney history, and you know, we're going to do it with Claude Coats, and you know, there's other projects out there that I'd like to get to at some point, because you know, to me, I think that there's only so many books you can buy on, you know, a particular movie or something like that. I think people want fresh stories, and certainly the Claude Coats story is incredibly fresh. There's some wonderful, wonderful stories. You know, we interviewed Marty Sklar, who ran WDI for many, many years. Alan Coates and I went up to Marty's house in Los Angeles and sat with him for 3 or 4 hours and recorded an interview, which we didn't know at the time turned out to be one of the last, I think the last interview he did before he passed away. And you know what, Lou? I have to interrupt here because I just saw the Horn King from the Black Cauldron walk by. I mean, my gosh, that was my first movie, and it's got a special place in my heart.
You should have called him over.
I know, we should have interviewed the Horn King.
You're like, do you know who this guy is?
But hey, you know, by the way, though, we're talking Claude Coats and the fact that he had a major impact on the Haunted Mansion. I'm looking across the way at the bride from the Haunted Mansion. Do you see her over there? I think you took a picture of her earlier.
And that's one of the things I love about, it's not only what I love about Expo, but I love about this section of Expo being here in the Emporium.
Yeah.
Is this is where the fans come and really sort of let their Disney hang out however they want to. and share that. I mean, that's a remarkable talent, being able to put. She didn't buy that costume somewhere.
No, they make
she
these.
made that.
Yeah, you know, and that's the amazing thing when you see some of the fans that do come out. Again, it's passion. It's the labor of love, you know, that they put into making these costumes, and they get to wear it and wander around at the expo here, and are gracious about having their pictures taken and all of that. It's really, you can't go wrong with the Disney fans. And I got to tell you, on the Claude Coats book, I think they're going to come through for us. I really do.
I'm sure they will.
know?
I'm sure it's a matter of raising awareness for it, because I think once people know that the project is out there, I think the fans will certainly flock to it.
And if you're interested, if you're watching, go to Indiegogo.com and look up Walt Disney's Imagineer Claude Coats, The Making of Disneyland.
Yeah, maybe somebody can find that and link it up. Awesome, thank you.
Okay, the tech wizards here at WDW Radio are making that happen.
Ori is the keeper. He is the mastermind behind the box everybody's watching, so thank you for that.
But this is great. What have you liked so far? I just got in. You've been here for a day and a half now.
Yeah, I've been here setting up since Wednesday.
Oh,
so,
wow. Okay.
so you know what? As much as I love the panels and presentations, and I'm looking forward to Parks and Resorts tomorrow, and I love the pavilions with the official Disney, companies under the umbrella. This is the part that I like the most, because this is where the real fans can come out. Look, the fact that Disney allows us as independent content providers and vendors to share the same floor and arena that they do is a gift and a privilege, and I'm grateful for that, because again, it's just Disney fans coming. So I love to see, the old stuff from the parks that people are selling, and some of the unique art and fan-created kind of stuff, as well as going to the Marvel booth and Parks and Resorts.
Well, of course. I mean, you got a big balloon Spider-Man there. I mean, the first time you and I were face-to-face on the Facebook Live, you were sitting in a Spider-Man chair, and the wall behind you was adorned with Spider-Man memorabilia, But I got to tell you, what the first thing I did when I came to your booth? One of the first things I did after I gave you a hug, because it was the first time we met, I gave Becky a big hug.
That Becky?
That Becky.
That one right there?
I gave Becky a huge hug.
Why?
Because when we did the Facebook Live, man, she really was. She stepped up to the plate. Holy moly! And you know what? She's really smart. She read between the lines on how I write up the perks. She knew exactly what I was talking about when I was saying that it was going to be a special dinner down at the park. And I just couldn't say what that special dinner was. She knew what it was going to be. And that's why she got that
you
perk
can't
right
talk
away.
about Rancho de Zocalo out in the, and just put that out there, because, I understand.
But I'll tell you what, we still have a couple of perks left where Alan Coates and I are going to give the Claude Coats tour of Disneyland.
What?
And that, I got to tell you, is going to be really special. There's going to be some surprises in there. And I have to tell you, I think there's only like 2 of those left, or maybe 3, I don't know. There might be 2 left. But whoever gets them, I think they're going to be blown away. Just like Becky was blown away when I talked to her privately offline about what it was with the dinner.
And so there's different levels, so whether you want to just buy the book or whether you want to add on some of those perks.
I mean, Lou, we talked about this the last time. It's really about getting as many people as possible to jump on board and just pre-order the book. We're giving a 20% discount on the cover price of the book if people pre-order it, and then there's other perks in there. So if people want to contribute more, we're giving them other things. There's an opportunity to get some beautiful limited G plays of Claude Coats' artwork, his personal artwork. And I got to tell you, there's one piece on there. It's called Across the Way, and it's a beautiful painting that Claude did of the Hollywood Hills across from the Burbank studio, and now that's a cemetery. So you could actually see what it looked like before it became a cemetery. It was a horse ranch in Burbank.
Wow.
Nice.
And then you have pictures of some of these on the
all
Indiegogo.
of that's up on our Indiegogo page. So I hope those folks that are scattered the country and couldn't come out to the expo, do me a favor, take a look at the Indiegogo page. I think you'll be really blown away. You know, look, even if you can't do, if you can't support the project, that's okay. Just go look at the page anyway, because you'll see some of Claude's personal artwork. It's beautiful.
And if you go to the page and maybe the book isn't for you, or you've got your copy already, what the best way you can do it is help spread the word and share it elsewhere, whether it's your Twitter, your Instagram, other Facebook groups where you know other Disney fans exist and would love to have a copy of this special book.
Absolutely, absolutely. I mean, that's the big thing that we're trying to do, is just really get the word out to everybody out there. Just go take a look at this page, read the story, you know, because you'll be blown away to learn a little bit about Claude Coats if you don't know that much about him.
You know who's a big Claude Coats fan? Boba Fett.
Really? All right. Thanks, man.
It's funny sitting here. They always make fun of me how easily distracted I am, because you'll be sitting here and Constance the Bride will walk by, or so will Boba Fett. And I mean, these costumes look like they're screen ready.
Oh no! I mean, these are folks that could walk right onto a movie set and blend in, and I'm sure some have.
I should have brought my Ewok costume.
Oh, no.
I'm not kidding. Somebody's made and sent me an Ewok costume.
Really?
I look at the seriousness in my eyes. This giant box appears on my doorstep one day with instructions, and I take off the cover, and all I see is fur. And I'm like, somebody sent me a furry. and I pull it out, and it's an Ewok costume with hands and feet and helmet and teeth, and and which was wonderful and incredibly generous. It was a little weird when I was reading. It's like, oh, I sized you up one time when I was looking at you. And I'm like, all right, now you're making it weird, but it's amazing.
So, they have apps now. Some people can hold their phone up and take the measurements.
Yeah, I saw. Like, you can get your shirt will be the perfect size if you take a selfie with
crazy.
it.
It's crazy stuff.
Yeah, we live in an amazing time. And look, going back to the book, where again I said this before, there's no more gatekeepers. You can anybody use this as an inspiration. Anybody, if you have a passion project of something that you want to share, you don't have to wait for somebody to give you a break, give you a deal, give you a TV show, give you a platform. You can go out and do it yourself.
And the other thing too that's interesting about the publishing industry is that it's started to go through changes. It's no longer just going through the established big dogs on the street. There's a lot of different ways we can approach these types of projects, and I got to tell you right now that the Claude Coats book is going to be spectacular. If anybody has my Ken Weber book, the Ken Weber book is just gorgeous. Heavy paper stock. It's spot varnish on the images on the pages.
Well, another
it's all
thing
about
too.
Quality.
Plus, by you self-publishing this, there's that additional removal of another gatekeeper, which is the editor. You can make sure the stuff that goes in there. What I mean by that is you can make sure that what goes in there is the stuff that you want, the stories you want to tell.
Well, that's true, but I do have an editor. I do have a copy editor. I do have a designer and layout person.
Oh, it's nice that they live close by.
Yes, her office is down the hall from mine at the house. And no, but I mean, we have a book distributor. I mean, we've set up a publishing imprint, and it's a professional operation. We're not going to Kinko's to print this book, and we're not going to be selling it out of the trunk of our car.
Although people would buy it out of the trunk of your car.
I'm sure people would, and I would appreciate
Dave
it. Dave
Foster's going to be doing the signing in his driveway next week, so you can just go to Maine, and she's going to make cookies. It's going to be lovely. You want to really talk about guerrilla marketing?
I know, really, that's it. No, but this is amazing. I've only been here a couple of hours, and I've run into so many people I know. I love coming to this event because of that, and I also, people walk up to me randomly and go, hey, I'm a Facebook friend, and I'm like, wow, I've got like 3,000 Facebook friends, and I don't know everybody, but thank you for introducing yourself, and it's just so wonderful, it really is, and I was really thrilled about being able to come in even for a day and a half, in the midst of my 2-week vacation in Maine. You know?
Well, there's a lot of cool stuff to see on the show floor. Fortunately, your wife is with you, so you don't have to worry about bringing her something home as a present.
I actually brought her something from Maine. I gave her a little gift when she picked me up at the airport. You know?
To apologize for having to come all the way to California.
But no, this is really fantastic. What are you most looking forward to here?
So today, I can say that I'm most looking forward to the Parks and Resorts presentation tomorrow morning.
Okay.
My world probably lives in the parks. There's also seats still available at Disney on Broadway. Becky is running to Disney on Broadway. Look, she's huge in the arts.
No, so you're looking for the Parks and Resorts presentation tomorrow. Now, what are you anticipating?
So, what I'm anticipating, I know nothing, I want to be clear, is...
But you hear rumblings.
I hear rumblings.
So we all hear the rumblings.
So we've seen a little bit about what some of the changes coming to Epcot Center are going to be, especially in Future World. I do expect that we're going to get at least one new country and world showcase. I also believe that the Imagination Pavilion is going to be, for lack of a better word,
reimagined?
Very, very thoroughly reimagined. And I think they're going to execute on what Bob Chapek said years ago, which is returning Epcot to. I think they appreciate the sense of nostalgia while continuing to look forward. So I think we'll see some more IP coming into Epcot,
and probably some more attractions.
Yeah,
don't you? I thought it was brilliant that they put Frozen into the Norwegian Pavilion.
It makes total sense. Good look. As much as I loved Maelstrom, it was an attraction about an oil rig and a bear.
I mean, honestly, how many times can you go on an attraction about an oil rig?
Nobody was going, Mom, we have to go to Disney World to go ride Maelstrom. Yeah. But kids right now are going, Mom, we have to go to Disney World to go ride Frozen.
Yeah. I kind of felt like if they didn't put Frozen in there, I really would have liked to have seen the Goofy Art of Skiing. Some sort of an attraction around that.
All right, so they make you the head of Imagineering for one day. They're like, Dave, listen, man, anything you want, budget, money, no object, go crazy. What do you do to World Showcase or Future World? What do you put in?
To me, I would bulldoze the entire entrance except for Spaceship Earth.
Which is kind of what's happening, yeah.
Yeah, and that's, they're going to do that. They're going to reimagine that whole space and make it useful for crying out loud.
Yeah.
I mean, it was just a pass-through.
Well, it almost has a very park-like atmosphere to it, which as a local I love because the parks are my park. It's where we sort of go to hang out with our family and friends.
The other thing, too, though, is that, Walt's original idea was it was the experimental prototype city of tomorrow, and I'd love to see them put in some residences that are attached to. I don't know if it's some sort of a hotel or condos or timeshare or vacation club. I don't know what, but something where people could go live there for like a week or two.
Oh, so you mean like a short-term type of?
Well, I don't know. Maybe you can put in condos and let people buy condos.
Well, they have them. It's called Golden Oak. So
but different from Golden Oak.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Where a normal person could go and live there.
No, but I that was the original concept for it, and why not expand on that?
Well, and I get some of the issues that they had in terms of voting rights and.
All right, so you made me king for a day, and I put that out on the table. So tomorrow I'm fired.
No, I'm sure there's a lot of people that would sign up to live there in Hard. Look, those of us who've moved, to the surrounding area right behind Magic Kingdom, that's as close as we can be without being on property. So. Right,
absolutely.
As I'm watching more of the costumes going by, just amazed.
Yeah, something's letting out, and there's Snow White. Look at that. I think Snow White's dress is a little too high, though.
We just saw some Emperor's New Groove go by. There's Anna and Elsa.
Yeah.
There's some very interpretive ones too. People sort of have their own take on.
A lot of cross-dressing too. Have you noticed that?
I have.
I don't mind it. I mean, I actually ran into a gentleman dressed as Maleficent on Cape Cod up in Provincetown. And
I ran into an Ursula yesterday. I was like, "Oh, can I take your picture?" He's like, "Yes." I'm like, "Oh, that's not what I was expecting."
It's
to come out."
fascinating. It's fascinating. You know?
But again, it goes to letting anybody express themselves. However, so look, so there's Tinkerbell
There's a Tinkerbell
and Kingdom Hearts.
Yes, that's it. And what did she have with her? She has a key.
Trying to, yeah,
She has some sort of a big.
yeah. So that's from Kingdom Hearts.
Wow, they're begging for people to come to Disney on Broadway. I don't know why, because they do some really wonderful stuff. And here's Becky. Hi, Becky.
I just thought I was sitting right there anyway, so I thought I would just join in.
Please
Now that
just
we're
join.
talking about if Selma Hayek walks by, you need to get out of the way because little Lou Mangello is going to run as fast as he can and pull down people.
No, we said Golden Oak and her ears perked up.
Oh,
so she
okay.
got excited.
Now that would be a nice place to be.
No, but you know something? It would be kind of cool.
I love your idea.
Yeah, they could do like really high-end condos as part of Epcot. You know what I mean?
Live inside the park.
Well, I mean,
Okay,
I think like
close.
to me, if like they put in like high-end condo tower and you have year-round entry to the park to Epcot, right?
Yeah.
Anytime during park hours, but then you have these spectacular views looking over.
Oh, wouldn't that be nice?
Like watching the nighttime spectacular in the lagoon and all that.
So when you go down to World, is there a one of the Disney resorts that you enjoy most? Look. So there's an interpretive Lotso, the Huggin' Bear, right there.
Yeah. Wow. All right.
I wonder if he smells like strawberries.
My favorite spot when I go down to Disney World, and usually where I stay, is either the beach yacht or boardwalk.
Yeah, because it's right there.
And those are my favorite. I really like the boardwalk a lot. I think because of all the restaurants and shops that are there. And my favorite restaurant, Nancy knows, is Flying Fish. Flying Fish. It's still there, right?
Yeah.
I think they closed it to refurbish
They
it.
did.
Right?
Have you been to the boathouse yet?
Oh, geez.
Oh yeah, I've been to that. Yeah. But I love the Flying Fish. They have that. It's the potato encrusted snapper. I think their signature dish.
See, I'm so hungry right now. Anything would sound fantastic.
Oh my gosh, it's so good. It's so good. And you could also do the chef's wine tasting at the counter, which I've done a number of times.
You said wine?
Wine.
Oh, look,
Wine.
look, little Balloon Mangello has snacks. Did you see the new snacks that he has?
Grapes. Oh,
yeah,
It's sushi.
Sushi. All right.
Okay, that was not my
So we're
idea.
adding to
Just
it.
so you know. I showed up one morning and there he was.
Well, because Lou is a very popular guy, and he's
Yeah.
out running around, and he's meeting people, and he's doing things and going to panels. We want to make sure that there was something here that people could take an infamous selfie with, and so little Balloon Mangello was born.
All right. And you know what? To make sure it was accurate, I left, I come back, and I see them adding giant eyebrows to it, which I don't think was very kind. I don't think that was...
I get the eyebrow thing. It must be a tri-state thing for us.
You two do kind of, I got to tell you, when you guys did the split screen in the Facebook Live and you did the split screen,
We were brothers.
You were brothers.
Yeah, brothers.
It looked
Put my
the two, like,
glasses
yes.
on. Is that better? Yeah. Is that easy?
Brothers. Yeah, there
You
we
two
go.
look like
We're
you were
brothers.
from the same
But
family.
you know something? I'm going to bring us back to that question. You asked me what resorts I like. What do you like? You're the travel person. You
Oh,
go
you know
down there
what?
all the time.
When I'm working,
Yeah.
it's usually Yacht and Beach. Look at that. Look
Yeah.
at that. He's just like, when I'm working, it's usually Yacht and Beach because I can easily get to Epcot. It's
Right.
more of a location.
Sure,
thing.
sure.
If I want to relax, I love Animal Kingdom Lodge
Oh, yeah.
with the wonderful Savannah view
Yes,
and
yes.
waking up in the morning where you don't have to be anywhere and you can just have your
And
coffee
you
on the
see
balcony
and you see the animals out
I
there. Yeah,
love
yeah.
animals.
That's beautiful.
So that's probably it.
What's yours?
So I also love Beach Club for its theming and location. But I think there's also something about Wilderness Lodge, especially like in the fall and the winter.
Yeah.
You feel like you've left Central Florida.
I got to tell you, I have a special spot for the Fort Wilderness area because my parents took myself and my siblings in a station wagon from Long Island. We took Interstate 95 straight down, right past south of the border in Georgia.
Stop and you see Pedro at south of the right.
That's right. We stopped at south of the border, because you couldn't help it. You saw,
Right, you have
saw
to.
billboards for 150 miles leading up to it, and then when we got to Orlando, we camped in Fort Wilderness. And this is 1976. 1976. We camped in Fort
Becky,
Wilderness.
Becky doesn't. She doesn't camp.
Well, let me tell you, Becky, I completely appreciate that because you know what?
wow.
I will never camp again.
There's something to be said for clamping.
I will clamp exactly as long as I can plug in the hair straightener and the
Yeah.
and the blow dryer. Like
Okay.
the cabins at Fort Wilderness are amazing
Yeah.
because you have all the conveniences of home, but you still have that
The rustic,
outdoor
the rustic,
rustic
yeah.
feel, and it's
Yeah.
really incredibly cool. And we've done a couple of events there that were really fun with the family.
I do agree, though. The Wilderness Lodge is really quite beautiful.
Well, see, the problem with Wilderness Lodge for me is it's my backyard. It's Seattle. It's
Sure.
so where I live. So I don't want to go 2,500 miles to stay in a place that I just left.
And by the way, have you noticed that Wilderness Lodge and the Grand Californian out here have a lot of similarities?
They do.
Especially in the lobby.
They
The
do.
giant fireplace.
There's something very
and a-
warm about both of those resorts
Yeah,
that I really like.
yeah, absolutely. I'm trying to think what I was going to ask you.
Uh-oh.
What's
That's
your
scary.
favorite restaurant down at
yes.
Walt Disney
Well,
World?
I can answer for him. That's a funny thing.
Okay.
His is Boathouse. It's
The
hands
Boathouse?
down
I do like the boathouse.
Boathouse. If they would let him move in, he had a chair with his name on it at Boathouse. If that tells you anything.
Really?
Yes.
There's a chair with your name
There's
on
a
it?
chair.
Really?
There's a chair with his name because he
Maybe.
can't.
I'll remember that. I'm going to bring a Sharpie the next time I go down there.
He refuses to leave.
That being said, if I take Boathouse out of the equation,
Okay.
I
Oh,
will
I know
tell
where
you
you're going.
that they have a new, very small, intimate Japanese restaurant called Takumite, which is insanely phenomenal. Like, it's a true dining experience from the second you walk in the door to the second that you leave.
Where is it?
So if you're staring at the Japan Pavilion, off to the right-hand side, there's a little nondescript door to the right of the Mitsukoshi.
Oh, okay.
It is, and then you do an omakase, where the chef sort of determines your menu for you.
Yeah.
You do the sake pairing. It's a good time.
See, and I haven't been there. He went without me, which of course that's going to sit there for a while, and I'm not going to let that go. However,
I'm like the Joker. She sends me out to make sure the food isn't poisoned first.
Wow.
So that's exactly what I do.
you're the taster. It's the taster.
But
It's the royal taster.
The French restaurant, the upstairs restaurant
Yeah.
at the French Pavilion.
Yeah.
I've had some great meals there, and one of the most memorable meals I had was with Roy Disney. It was a small group of us. Roy took us there, and the chef came out to the table and introduced himself, and obviously because of Roy, and he created a dinner for us that wasn't on the menu. Wasn't on the menu. It was really a spectacular evening, I have to tell you.
Well, dinner with Roy Disney. I mean,
Well, you know what?
Hello.
Eating at Taco Bell
Yes,
with
exactly.
Roy Disney is an experience.
a corn dog would be
Yeah.
fine. Whatever.
Exactly. Well, my favorite picture of Roy that's in my book on Roy Disney, my favorite picture is him eating a hot dog at Costco. Because he loved to shop at Costco. He absolutely loved to shop at Costco. And there's a picture of him eating a hot dog. He's got the hot dog stuck in his mouth. He's taking a bite. And it's really one of my favorite pictures because you know why? It shows everybody that he was just really that down to earth.
Just a person.
And those are the stories I like hearing because you hear a name like a Roy Disney and you just imagine someone in this, in this golden palace somewhere. Why would Roy Disney ever go to Costco?
You know what? He drove his own car. He pumped his own gas. He shopped at Costco. He went to Save-On to buy a cane when he broke his leg. Seriously, he walked into. We were doing a screening, and hold on. Whoa.
So we have 15 minutes now before the next break.
We got 15 minutes before we're totally drowned out.
Yeah, we've learned not to compete with that.
No, you can't.
And it's just better to watch that one because
can't.
they're so much fun.
You can't. No, but there's so many really funny stories with him. He walked into a screening one day. He had broken his leg in a car accident, was in a wheelchair for a little while, and then when he had gotten the cast off, they asked him to use a cane to sort of take some of the pressure off the leg, while he's still mending. And he walks into his screening, and we're like, you're out of the wheelchair, fantastic. And he holds up the cane and goes, I got this at Costco. It was only $14.99.
So would you find him at a garage sale then? Is he the type of person who would go to antiquing and garage sales and that type
I'm
of thing?
not sure that he would go to a garage sale, but I think you would find him rummaging through like antique shops and stuff like that. He was a very inquisitive guy. He was interested in stuff.
Interesting.
I traveled with him quite a bit over the years, and we did some kind of fun things at museums and things like that. And it's always cool because you're with Roy, and so you get like all this special treatment. And he's so humble.
Much like when I'm with you, Montello.
But he was like so humble about it because he would be like, are you sure that's okay? We're like, yeah, it's okay, we sure will.
That's cool.
Well, that's what I like hearing the stories, like especially, like from people like you is who had personal relationships with these people who we don't really know, because it really humanizes, you hear the name Disney, you see it on top of a marquee, but it humanizes it and makes you sort of understand that they're real people too.
There were real people there. There was a real family, And the same with, by the way, Claude Coats. I actually knew Claude Coats. I had the pleasure of sitting with Claude many mornings over at the Imagineering commissary and talking with him. And really this book project really came out of the fact that I met his son Alan, and I wanted his son to know that I knew his father, and that I thought his father was a real decent guy and spent time with me, and I got to know him a little bit, and that was it. And out of that, a friendship has budded with Alan. Alan and I are now friends and see each other on a regular basis. We're going to do this book together. He asked me to do the book on his father, and so it's one of those things that it's just meant to be, Indiegogo.com.
Yeah, so I think Corey's already linked to it in the Box People group. I'll make sure I retweet it as well too.
And you know what? We've got 32 more days left on the campaign. We're 60% there. I'm confident we're going to go the rest of the way. And I really think people should look at the perks.
We're going to
look at some of the artwork.
We're going to make a huge push for you in the home stretch here.
I appreciate it. I really do. My brother from another mother.
Absolutely. We just need to put you in the same color shirt now, and then we would be able to tell you apart.
Next time we see each other, wear black.
I normally do because it's somewhat slimming for me, so white is not helping me at all today, by the way.
What are you looking forward to here? Is there any, aside from parks and resorts?
Parks, well, that's got to be I'm all about that. Only because,
well,
the piece for me especially is the cruise line.
Oh, yeah.
I'm looking for information on the new ship.
Yeah.
I'm hoping we get a name. I'm hoping we might get some itineraries for the other ships, because the other ones.
All right, so now I'm making you head of Disney Cruise Line for the day.
There we
You've got 30 seconds to name the next 3 ships.
Oh my God! Really?
Good one.
Well, I think you got to name one of them Fantasia.
Even though you have a fantasy?
Yeah, Fantasia.
Okay.
I don't know, the Horn King. You know what?
I know, I'm putting you on the spot.
We're
We're hearing a lot of things
I'd have to think about that.
Like
one.
the Believe,
the Wish is the one that I keep thinking of.
Yeah.
The Imagine.
We already have a Magic. We already have a Wonder. We already have
Imagine is imagination, Imagine, or I keep going and I keep wanting the Marvel, but I don't think we'll get that. But I would love to have that. And then you have
the SS Bossard.
That would be good.
No. How about Sweating Bullets? Something. I think they should name one of the ships the Walt Disney.
The Disney Walt Disney.
I guess that wouldn't really work, would it?
DWD. That would confuse us all if we were looking at the things. But the other thing, too, I'm looking forward to is hearing and seeing, which we have seen, more about the Star Wars Hotel.
Oh, yeah.
I'm excited about that.
Has there been any talk about a Marvel park?
Not about a park, but we're seeing a lot more Marvel coming into the parks, not just domestically, but internationally. And I believe in my little nerdy heart of hearts that Disney and Universal are going to get some sort of deal done, and we will get Marvel in Walt Disney World.
Well, you know, you can imagine that because all of a sudden Sony and Marvel just divorced over Spider-Man.
I'm not buying it. Dave, I'm not buying
You're
it.
not? You
I'm
think
not.
they're- you think
I
they're
think
gonna kiss and make up?
Here he
No,
goes.
I think
The
it-
glasses are coming off. He's
No,
standing up.
I call nonsense because think about it. Any sort of negotiation, nobody's going to share numbers publicly. So
Right.
immediately I'm discrediting that.
Okay.
There's nobody referenced in the article that I spoke to so-and-so from Sony. It's unnamed sources. Until Kevin comes here and tells me, dude, you better take the Spidey thing down. He's done. I think it's an intentional leak, if anything, by Sony to try and put additional pressure on Disney. The timing, days before Disney's biggest fan convention, just is too coincidental for me.
Okay.
So it's in everybody's best interest to get the deal done.
Okay. So Spider-Man's not leaving the Marvel universe.
Over my cold, dead corpse, he is not.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm happy to hear that then.
I know nothing. I'm completely guessing.
I know,
so.
but I'm happy to know that there's still a chance for things to come together.
It is totally a negotiation tactic because they both have very strong power positions.
Yeah.
And this was just dropping and leaked, and they've got to come to it.
And you know, this latest Spider-Man movie's gone over $1 billion worldwide, I mean, and it's a good movie.
And my family and I have given about 400 million of that because we've seen it so many times.
How many times have you seen the new Spider-Man movie? Seriously, how many
Four,
times?
I think 4. Yeah,
4?
yeah, so far.
Well, that's not a lot.
Yeah, but I know it's coming out. You know, it'll
Did
be
you
out.
see it in IMAX?
We saw it. We saw it in Dolby WandaVision, whatever it's called. We saw it in WandaVision.
Okay. But you got to see those kinds of movies. I think, wow, I'm sorry, I'm distracted by the shiny, glittery,
We are brothers.
Beautiful.
I,
Bell.
like you, am easily distracted by pretty
shiny
princesses.
things.
So
I
we
mean,
can't have you two at the same time doing
that
this.
is that's one heck of a bell dress
Yeah.
over there. Wow. You know, the other thing I noticed is that there's somebody walking around with a soft cooler
Belle, we love your dress.
selling
can't, she's not even paying
selling hot dogs.
What?
$4 hot dogs out of a red soft cooler over there.
Get that guy over
And
here.
there's somebody wheeling around a ice bucket with drinks in it.
Because
That's
a
new
parade
this year.
A parade is coming and about to happen.
Oh,
so
yeah, so
honestly,
it's the
kinda-
prep.
Look at the genie with the applause over her.
Oh,
head. How
yeah.
great. Genie, we love your costume.
That's great.
Genie?
We love that.
Genie.
Yeah.
Turn around.
Genie and a boo, you know?
That's very cute.
Yeah, that is very nice.
They're very
Oh,
cute.
Applause,
applause,
Genie.
applause. We love your
Yeah.
costume. Applause. Very good. I love that.
Simple
yeah.
yet creative.
Yeah, you know, it's so great. You got such a great space here because everybody's wandering by. And I know we're going to wrap up in a moment, right? I think because
It's
there's
almost
gonna be
parade time.
a huge parade going by, and we're just going to be drowned out.
Pretty much.
You know, but this, I have to tell you, this has been a lot of fun, Larry.
Thank you for making
Not
time
only,
to come
not
out.
only to meet you in person, my brother, from the tri-state area, but also to just sit here and just chat about everything that's going on here. And Becky, you know I love you.
Well, I love you,
know.
back.
And I met you for the first time up at Northwest Mouse.
Yeah.
That's right. That was not last year.
No,
Was it 2 years ago?
Yeah.
No, maybe it
Something
was last year.
Maybe.
It was last year.
Yeah.
They had the big rocket ship last year.
We did,
Balloon
yes.
rocket ship.
We're all
Yes.
about the balloons.
Yes.
Anywhere you go with
Okay.
Mouse Fan Traveler, you're going to find
Yes.
balloons.
So it was the red and white balloon rocket ship. I have a photo of myself in that rocket ship.
Pick me.
Yeah, that was really a fun event. Don puts on a great event up there. Okay,
I think that
Look,
we're...
it's Deadpool.
what are we gonna do?
Deadpool, welcome,
Deadpool.
welcome to the family.
Deadpool, how are you, man? Good to see you. That's probably.
I love Deadpool.
Is that Ryan? You think
love
that,
Deadpool.
Find
you
out.
think that's Ryan? What's his name?
Ryan Reynolds.
Yeah, Ryan Reynolds is actually walking around in a Deadpool costume.
Wouldn't that be
because
awesome
he's
if it
a
really
Disney
was?
fan that doesn't want anybody
Look at
to
this guy
recognize him.
in the scooter, like Pirates of the Caribbean. and the little
Yeah.
cannons on the side shoot out smoke.
Oh, that's fantastic. I love that.
That's the way to get to a
I
crowd.
gotta tell you something. What's so wonderful is that people who are in scooters or wheelchairs and they utilize.
Yeah,
what they
pirate guy.
have.
Hey, pirate,
You know,
pirate
guy.
pirate guy.
Hey, pirate guy.
Make a right turn.
See
Too
ya.
late. Peace out.
I'm heading the other way.
He stopped.
Oh my gosh, it is so amazing. You're seeing the entire world walk by in front of us.
Yeah,
This is great. I love this.
me too.
You know?
This is a great.
So-
we need
so-
this again next year. Can we just stay here? Can we just leave it here and then be here for the next one? 2 years.
So now what happens after the D23 Expo? You head back to Orlando.
I do.
You go back up to Seattle.
I go to Orlando.
Oh, you're going down to Orlando.
Yeah,
Okay.
we're on the same flight. At like the dark 30 early morning.
Yeah.
Oh wow, really? Seriously? You're going there? Yay! We get a whole nother week together.
When do you guys leave? Do you leave on Monday or
Monday.
Tuesday?
Right, because Monday, because Galaxy's Edge, they're doing the premiere for Galaxy's Edge on Tuesday in the world.
Oh, right. So
So-
you'll be there for that.
I will. Have you seen it yet?
Fantastic. No, I refused to go this summer, and apparently everyone else did because the park was very empty. I decided I wouldn't go this summer because I thought the park would be just so crowded. It was crazy. And then everybody else thought the same thing. And it was like, you know, they had blackout days on our silver passes and stuff. They lifted all of that. There's no more blackout days on the silver passes. They're just like dying for people to come through. And when they announced their earnings, I think there was a little softness there from parks, you know, which was really crazy. Be careful what you wish for when you put a new land in.
Exactly,
you know?
exactly.
Wow.
I think it's going to come back up. I think they
No,
blocked the APs, and
Yeah.
of course that's
No,
going to
with
be
enough people writing about the fact that Disneyland was empty, I'm sure it's going to be packed now. You know, everybody's going to go, "Hey, the park's empty. Let's go." You know, 100,000 people show up.
Let's not start that rumor again. Let's leave that alone.
Really?
Okay.
Well, I'm sure the park has been very crowded these couple of days.
Yeah,
Because
tried
I
to
know
avoid it,
everybody
yeah.
that comes here wants to go over to Disneyland, especially those people that fly in. There's a lot of people that fly in for this event.
Yeah.
Do you book groups of people to come in for D23?
We booked groups of people. We had a group contract over at the hotel. So
Wow.
we did.
Wow, that's
We did.
amazing. What's the best I shouldn't say what's the best hotel to say. I can't ask you that question. Huh?
Here?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, you can.
What's the best hotel?
You really want to know?
Yeah.
Again, for location, Grand
Yeah.
Californian, but my favorite hotel is
Yeah.
the Disneyland Hotel.
Is it really?
Yes.
Why? Why?
The rooms are really magical.
Okay.
They're larger.
Yeah.
And they have like the fireworks in the headboard,
Oh,
and
yeah.
it just feels a lot more Disney to me.
Yeah. I love the Grand Californian. I really do. I mean, I've stayed there a zillion times, and I've always enjoyed it. And, you know, when Nancy and I have come down for special events and stuff like that, we always like to stay there. And, you know, I got to tell you, I've had a lot of people over the years say, "Hey, can you get me into Club 33 and this and that?" And I used to talk people out of it before they remodeled Club 33. Club 33 is fantastic now, new chef and all that. But years ago, I used to tell people, you know what? The hidden gem is the Napa Rose at the Grand California.
Which, don't start that because I haven't taken him yet. He keeps reminding me that I haven't taken him to Napa Rose.
You know, I got to tell you, if you go there for the first time, I think you should do the chef's table,
Yeah.
looking into the kitchen, and have Andrew, the head chef,
He's
take
he
care of
knows
it.
Andrew Sutton. He knows.
Take care of it.
Yeah.
Because, you know, he'll pair the wines with each entree. And, I'm telling you, it's a really special treat, culinary treat. Really is.
You know what? Speaking of special, I'll take you to one of my favorite restaurants in Disneyland one day.
What is
If you
the California Grill?
No.
Because I'm from California.
No. We're going to walk down Main Street and make a hard right, and you can have as many Little Red Wagon corn dogs as your heart desires.
That is one of his favorite. Oh, or if you like a chimichanga, I'm sure he would
double up.
give for that one too.
And then we'll go to Cozy Kiln the next day. Big spender. But those are some of my favorite foods. So.
No, that's fantastic. That is fantastic.
All right, I think we're about to get drowned out by the parade coming down. Please thank Dave Bossert by going to his Indiegogo campaign, Corey's going to link it up again in the.
Thank you all
in the
very
notes.
much. I've had such a great time talking with you,
Thank you
Lou,
for making
and
time
Becky,
to come out.
You know, and giving Becky a big hug earlier. Oh my gosh!
Oh, you'll
I
get
was
another
looking-
one before you leave.
Many
Free
more,
hugs.
many more.
Free hugs.
And then Lou, you and me,
You better leave, brother.
the Tri-State Brothers, broadcasting from WDW Radio live on the D23 Expo floor. Right?
You're the best.
I mean, this is great stuff. I had such a good time. Thank you all very much. Thank you, Lou.
Thank you, buddy.
All right.
Good seeing
Thank
you.
you. That was great. That was great.
they've been advertising for and of course,
Oh, nice.
right.
Nice.
I think so. Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I think so. Yeah, they had the usual kind of stuff, you know, but they had the buttons, all of them. You know, so you could get a set of 5, you know. So I thought I'd show these to everybody nice and hey, by the way. Yeah, it is. Actually, when I was in there, Blues Entourage was, yeah, they were crossing the other side of the line. Very cool. So, then there's also a t-shirt store that's down by the food court area.
Yeah, they're like little.
A lot of them are, yeah. And then some of them were pretty cool though because
Right. Why?
No, I didn't.
We're gonna do that live drawing.
yeah.
And then 4 of us are gonna go to Marble 80.
Cool. I'll probably bolt my thought. Yeah, I've pretty much done all the shopping I'm gonna do, but pictures of it. Well, you can get all the t-shirts. That's cool. And they had a whole bunch of. I only got one picture, but they had a whole bunch of them in that circle area. It's $25 a t-shirt, which isn't bad at all for that kind of stuff. Yeah. But you buy 3, you get 1 free. So
He's tracking.
Just draw it out. Yep, just draw it in. I know. Isn't he the best? We're going to the panel. How long is the panel? An hour? It starts at what time?
Do that.
What time does it start? You have no idea.
Nobody knew.
That's very exciting.
Why don't we cut? This way you can walk around and do some stuff. Oh, even better. So yeah, definitely cut it, and then we'll come back. 516. 516.